do you sometimes end up in a negative thought pattern? Keep on watching to find a way you can eliminate it today. Hey, I'm Ronja from CCM, where our mission is to help people to a better life mentally and emotionally. One time when we have too much to do on our job, and I had this huge list of things to do that would take me like 6 months to accomplish. And I only had 1 month on the job because I was switching job, I was changing job. I was so irritated, and like I did go to my superior and talk to her about it, but she didn't change anything. And I felt like she doesn't care. And somewhere, like when I did think about it afterwards, I felt a bit abandoned and that no one cares about me, and like this kind of huge emotions for something that isn't really anything to do with it. Like the reason why she didn't take anything off me was because she didn't have anyone to put it on, because everyone had too much. Anyway, when I thought about it, I realized that it comes from when I was younger, because when I was 12 years old, I got a sibling. And even though that I love my sibling and I was really glad when he came, my parents didn't have as much time for me because they needed to take care of him. And on some level, like when I was 12 years old, I wasn't really prepared for that, and I felt a bit bad and so, but it wasn't really, I didn't really know where it comes from. But when I think about it, like it was the same kind of emotions. I felt a bit abandoned, that I wasn't like as loved as from my parents anymore because they didn't have time for me, and they didn't show me, like they didn't was with me as much as they did before. And that's the thing, that when I had that clarity, when I came to that conclusion, it just doesn't affect me anymore. Because when you come to clarity about the situation, you often feel better, because when you know where it comes from, you don't get as affected, and you know what the thought and emotion comes from, and that it isn't really the situation you are in right now. So that's the first thing you should do, is to get clarity of the situation and why you have that thought pattern, because it will help you tremendously, and maybe you don't really need to do anything more than just getting clarity. I have noticed that when I feel emotions and really express them, I get a lot calmer and more peace of mind afterwards. Like once a month at least, I do this meditation technique that evokes emotion in myself, and I cry. Mostly I cry, but I can also get angry and many things. And after I do that, like I feel so relieved, and almost always, like the couple of days afterwards, my head is much calmer than it is usually. And that is probably because I'm really good at like suppressing emotion. I've done that all my life, so it's a lot of emotions that is inside me that needs to come out. Because when I do feel emotions, the first thing I do is to suppress it. That's kind of how I learned to do. And being able to like get them out of my system will help with the negative thoughts. After you get clarity of the thought pattern and you expressed all the emotions you feel, you still have this thought pattern going on in your head. Like it's probably because your brain is used to think that sentence. And if you have like cleared the reason why it should be there, you can just take it out or like exchange it. So you start to like figure out a sentence that you want to replace it with, and every time you have that thought, like you then afterwards think the other thought that you want to think instead for 3 times. So after a while you will stop like thinking the thought, and instead you will have this other thought that you do. You want to know a different way you can express yourself? Watch this video. Take care, and I will see you in my next video.